Here's your question. Gun to your head, you have to drink a Coors Light, a Miller Light, or a Bud Light. Which one are you drinking?
Oh, I'm drinking neither.
No, you're gonna see that. God damn it.
I'm drinking an actual beer, not piss water there, bud.
What's that wasn't the question. Which one of the three are you gonna drink?
What you said, Bud Light, Coors Light, or Miller Light?
Yep, the big lights. Which one do you want?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe Miller Light.
Mm. Yeah, man, you look like a Miller Lite guy.
Hello, and thank you very much for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can download many more episodes at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com.
We have a saying recently in these past couple of years of Movie Guys Podcast, and that's been, well, that was a movie, and tonight it's no different. I am very famous for picking some crappy ones lately. We're talking about Spaceman, the Adam Sandler Spider Netflix movie. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
That was definitely a movie, Jordan.
There you go. There you go.
I feel like we should be keeping track of this, or I should be keeping track of this, of each other's movies, because you didn't like Midsummer, and that was my recommendation. So, as you like to say, I got my face. Like, one for you on that, right? Where you get to pick a movie, and we get this little back and forth, this little movie tag system that we have going on here. So, does that mean I get to pick maybe another movie?
Well, of course, you always get to pick movies. I always take your suggestions. Next week, you're gonna enjoy the next one. But this one was on a whim, right? This was that movie and the History of Movie Guys podcast where I create the schedule months in advance. I mean, here we are recording in May, and we already have July done. You know what I mean? Like scheduled, ready to go.
Yep, of course. And how Spaceman got on our list here, I will not know.
Right. But yeah, this is a filler. This is that week where I couldn't find anything to put in. I'm scouring through streaming platforms, and I'm like, oh. So I watched the trailer, and I was like, oh, this is from my interpretation, right? My interpretation, how I saw the trailer was, oh, this is a one person piece where Adam Sandler's being an actor, and he
Thespian.
Yeah, there you go. And he is finding himself with a spider Hal. Okay, this is Oscar bait. This is his big moment. This is his Spanglish, if you will.
Yeah.
Again, you know what I mean? Again, that's what I thought going into this movie. Boy, was I totally wrong. The movie was trying to be that.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a bit more. This is my fault. Remember Moon with Sam Rockwell?
Yep.
Kevin Spacey? Yeah. I thought it was going to be a bit more on that. With the movie called Spaceman, I thought that we were going to get a bit more of the sci-fi part of it and less of this kind of internal discovery about love. And it just seemed like a misdirect.
Yeah, it seemed like obviously the spider is supposed to be evil at the end, right? The whole coup was the spider's going to eat Adam Sandler, right? Like that's what you're going into, right? Like,
is the spider even real? Some people would think.
I think the movies tells you very early on if it is or not. We'll discuss it. But no, I mean, like that's what I thought, right? I'm like, okay, this is a giant space spider taking it at face value, and from the trailers, the spider's talking to him, and he's trying to be his friend, so to speak. And at the end of the movie, he's going to be like, all right, now I have to eat you because I'm a giant space spider.
Sorry, bud, gotta eat ya.
You know what I mean? Like,
this is how my people have been doing it for years.
Right. So, but no, this was not a single person piece. This was an ensemble piece. Adam Sandler is by Jupiter?
Yes.
To explore cloud patterns?
Yes.
Like pink clouds?
So, as this takes place, this is also, of course, based off of a novel.
Of course. Let me guess. Push by Sapphire.
Spaceman of Bohemia.
Why does Hollywood do that? I have a quick question on that. Why does Hollywood not take the full title of the books just because they don't like it?
Because it's an adaptation. It's
Okay.
obviously something where the books, for the most part, a good 95% of the time are going to be better than the movie, but oftentimes they rename it because of how the movie strays so far from the books. I'm trying to think maybe some that maybe do. Maybe Water for Elephants, because that has the same name with Robert Pattinson and Christoph Waltz. And the only changes they made in that from the book were, I think they removed a character. Christoph Waltz is the ringmaster in that one, and he's supposed to be another ringmaster, or like the business guy of it. So he plays kind of both parts. And then there's the stories being told from a an old narrative, and they removed that whole retirement home out of it. But I mean, like, a lot of Nicholas Sparks are have the same book and movie title, right?
Yeah, I know. And Gina and I did that marathon. That should have been a retrospective for us.
No, I'm glad it was not. But I think that oftentimes it's renamed based on how far that they take into their own, I guess, part. They're adding their own parts of the movie, I would think.
Okay, fine, fair enough. But yeah, I mean that's what I thought I was getting. But yeah, this takes place. Well, they don't even say a year, right? This takes place whatever time,
Yeah,
right?
it's the novel's based. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'd say I think the novel was based in the 80s or 2003. So kind of the present, kind of
Or
the present.
kind of the
Yeah,
present, and Adam Sandler is studying clouds outside of Jupiter or whatever.
some 4 years ago at the time of this movie, some clouds, purple majesty clouds showed up by Jupiter, and yes, he is designated to go on solo mission to go check it out.
Check it out. He leaves his family behind, his wife, and he is constantly connected to mission control. Nothing happens until one day he wakes up and there's a thing moving underneath his skin,
Yeah,
and it tries to come out his nose. And spider, right? And it
yeah,
doesn't come out his nose, and it comes out his mouth.
yep.
Okay. A few scenes later, we see the gigantic spider. Question: was that in his head? Did that actually happen? Not if the spider. Well, I guess this is where we go back if the spider's real or not. But spider coming out of his mouth, did that happen?
See, this is where I'm curious. Is that I would think that, and you can interpret it any such way, but this guy's a solo mission. The spider originally, or in his dream, kind of comes from his temple. So I would think that it's manifested from his head. I don't know if it's going to be like a sphere type thing, if Michael Crichton, where like he thought it and thus it became real, or maybe it was. You could say that it was a fear of his in real life, and that his fear was manifested into something that is fearful, a spider. But the real fear was his commitment to other people.
Right. So this is, I guess, I'll just spoil my opinion because it's kind of hard not to when we talk about this movie. I don't think the spider is real, and the reason why I think the spider is not real is because Mission Control is locked on this guy 24/7. They see everything that's going on, right? And he opens up his bedroom door, or whatever, and he sees the gigantic spider, right? And starts talking to him telepathically. And then he kind of freaks out. He slowly backs away. Gets into a spaceman suit. He's talking to Mission Control, and he's like, "Hey, we need to like flood the hall with hazards or whatever, right?"
Yep.
And Mission Control's like, "We're not picking anything up on our radar or whatever. Like, we're not picking anything up. Nothing's there."
Mm-hmm.
That, in my interpretation of the movie, is the movie saying directly that there is no spider.
Yeah,
because they would have picked that up.
I would agree. I would agree that because they make comments in this movie about, I guess, about mental health, about how being, and this is the bigger part of it too, is that in the relationship, is that they are separated, and when you're separated and you're alone, you think, and you think a
Mm,
lot. And I think
mm,
that he is thinking, Jakob is thinking too much, and he's had a lot of time to think about his relationship, about everything in his life. I think that this was a form of his self therapy, and we just got to see this mental break that he was having. As somebody, I can relate to this. As somebody who, during COVID, I'll say, had broken up with the girlfriend at the time, and it was really just at home doing the same thing over and over again. You think, you start to think
mm.
like, okay, well, what am I doing? It's got to be the same thing. What am I doing next? What can you really do this self analysis on your life, and I can understand that, but I did not hallucinate any spiders, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I don't think this. I don't even think he's hallucinating a spider. I just don't think a spider's there. Like I really don't think so. And the movie loses me at this point, right? Because there's this human-sized space spider, calls him skinny human all the time, and he is talking so Hal to him, right? I mean, obviously they were thinking of 2001 on this. Had to have. They'd be
I
lying if they didn't.
I believe the author of the book was one who would write X-Files fan fiction all the time.
Right. So I mean, yet again, evidently all I got to do to become a famous novelist is write fan fiction like some other ones that we reviewed in the past, 50 Shades of Grey.
It does seem to be a very popular thing nowadays.
Right. So yeah, I mean, like obviously this spider's Hal, and the spider's here to talk to Adam Sandler to get him to understand that he's a failure. So Adam Sandler's name is what, Jakub, or
Jakob,
are they Russian?
Czech. Although he says he's a cosmonaut.
Well, because he said that his father was killed because he was against the state or whatever, and I googled that, and that was a Russian revolution.
His father was a member of the Communist Party for Czechoslovakia.
Ah, I read Russian. Okay.
This
Did
is
Russia own?
in the movie. They talk about how he was, again, the Czechoslovakian, like a socialist party taking over in a different regime, and that his father was an informant for the Communist Party or something like that. This is, yeah, why it said it's really beneficial to put on subtitles sometimes because you really miss a whole lot.
Yeah,
And
I did. I thought it was Russian. So they were
there
talking
wasn't a whole
about,
lot to this movie to begin with, but this is a small detail.
no.
Either way, it's a resentment that he has towards his father or some sort of unfinished business.
Yeah, he was like my father was a great man, but he made bad choices or something like that.
Yeah, and it looks like in the book before all this, he has a bit more of a problem. He of drinking and
Ah,
getting drunk a lot and using the sleeping medication to sleep a lot. Basically, becoming dependent on a lot of stuff. So I would imagine that his mental state probably did think up this spider.
they should have put that in this movie.
They probably did, but they wanted
You
to.
missed it.
I don't know. No, I mean
You
they.
missed it.
Is that what it was? It came later.
Yeah, I just what really sucks about this movie is that it's an hour 40 something, and no reason to be. And this movie's an hour, if that, because nothing happens. Like
Yeah, this movie's an
literally.
episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, good one. Right. Like, because people who are listening, like if you haven't seen this movie, it's Adam Sandler sees a spider, gets freaked out, spider like sneezes spider snot on him,
Uh huh.
wipes it off of his space helmet, and they're instant Jordan Eric buddies. Like they're just buddies. like they're cool.
Yeah, I think they have an understanding that they're both explorers,
Right.
and yeah, or for whatever reason they, yeah, like what else is Jakob gonna do? I think curiosity gets the best of him. He's bored enough to where he's like, all right, well, I guess I'll talk to this alien spider.
And then he gives the spider a name, which Herman.
Peter. No, it's
No,
Janus.
Giannis.
Janusz.
And
Janusz, is that what it is?
Janusz is like Janusz. Anyway, he's like,
Peter.
oh, I'm gonna. Let's just call him Peter.
It's played by Paul Dano.
Really?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, and boy, did he really lazily voice this one.
Well,
He
he
do
is
it
a good actor.
from his garage or something like that. Yeah, he's a great actor, which is, I
He
feel
was
like
just doing what he was told to do.
a lot of the people in this movie really seem, by a lot of people, I just mean the two, Paul Dano and Adam Sandler, really was just like, I feel like the director was just like, hey, listen, was it Johan Rennick? Is that his name? I felt the director was just like, hey, listen, you don't have to go big in this movie. Just read the lines, read it very monotone, read it like you're bored, and we'll just add in the CGI. So we really only want the acting to come from Carey Mulligan here. She's going to be doing all the lifting, and the only actual acting in this movie. Don't worry about anything else.
Yeah. So, what you said CGI? What CGI? Oh
The
my
spider and the space.
There was no that spider was terrible. Does Adam Sandler have like a huge contract with Netflix or something? This is like he has like the golden headphones.
Yeah, he had signed a while back. I remember, geez, is it like 10 years now? Something to the degree of like a 6 or 8 movie deal with Netflix, and he got like a big old paycheck, and he has made a bunch of movies for Netflix. A lot of them obviously not good, but here,
Well, I know I know not blended, but he did what the Murder Mystery 1 and 2.
he did Murder Mystery 1 and 2. Of course, our favorite, say
Hubie
it,
Halloween.
Hubie Halloween.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Terrible movie.
And then he did something with what the hell with what's his name, Chris Rock, Sandy Wexler. There it is.
Oh yeah, that was
Sandy
bad too.
Wexler,
So all
the
these
Ridiculous Six, the Cobbler.
So all of these beside. Oh wait, didn't he do did he do like a serious basketball coach movie or something? That's been on a schedule for a year.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? Hustle.
That's on Netflix, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one's not too bad actually.
That was on and off for schedule multiple times. Just kept on moving.
It's not too bad, but it's every other movie that you've kind of seen before. So,
well, it'd be better than this one. But so like Peter the Spider, I'm gonna call him Peter just because you said it. Peter the Spider and Adam Sandler, he's like, okay, so Peter the Spider's like, I'm an explorer like you, and I like to I was just floating in space and I observed you for a couple of days, but I found you interesting, so I want to know more about you.
Yeah, he says he's observed the human race and he has some questions basically, so he's stowed away on Jakob's ship here and is going to ask some questions.
Right. How did he get in? Like, if this spider is real, how did he get in?
I don't know.
Aren't spaceships like airtight?
Yeah, the same part I would think, like those particles were able to go through mass as well too, which is a big part why I think the spider was a creation, is because how did he get on the ship? He just hide in a compartment somewhere and waited for Jakob to flush a toilet, and then was able to to get in. I don't know.
Right. I mean, it makes no sense, right? And then dude, I'm serious. I went to the bathroom. I made myself a sandwich. Like a lot of the movie was just like telepathic Peter Spider Adam Sandler talking of him trying to forgive his father and him trying to understand what he really feels about his wife, and it's like yawn. Like where's this? Oh Jesus! Like I don't care.
Yeah, the spider starts showing flashbacks, right?
Right.
Kind of like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. All of
Boo.
these I know how much you love that movie. All of these parts of the relationship, all of these parts that maybe Jakob enjoys the memories or wishes to forget the memory of.
Uh-huh. I mean,
And
it's boring though, right?
well, yeah, but it's I'm eye rolling at this point because I'm being told now, and then after the Carrie Mulligan scenes, where I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be a love story, isn't it? And I
Mm-hmm.
was disappointed. I let myself down with the expectation, thinking that this was going to be some sort of sci-fi movie, and
Mm-hmm.
it's far from. The only thing sci-fi about it was the cloud part, where he's actually going out to the cloud stuff, the purple cloud, in seeing that pretty purple space. But that's even more unbelievable than the spider because just to jump to the end, there's a part when he Jakob gets in the airlock and right kind of abandoned ship
Right.
just to save the spider, and the entire movie they make comments about how they need to be the first one to get to this cloud because the South Koreans are right behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And so he gets in the air like in a spacesuit. He jumps abandoned ship to go save the spider because the spider says, I'm done with you," or whatever. And the end is whatever the hell. And he goes off and he leaves the ship behind. The entire time as he's hearing like the abort, abort in his headphone. And I will go back to it because there was a big part of his learning and his growing. But the unbelievable part is when he goes to save the spider, Janusz, Peter, as we know, and he's just sitting there floating, and then the South Koreans just boom find him
Show up.
right there. Space is big. Space
Mm-hmm.
is real big.
One would say it's infinite.
Yes, yes, I would think many would say that. Yeah, and it's ridiculous. The fact that the South Koreans just kind of pull up like a hitchhiker and have the spotlights on. First off, what do you do with spotlights in space like that? That
It's dark.
oh yeah, my bad. Of course, you got to have headlights on the spaceship so you can see in front of you.
Well, yeah, it's dark, man.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh.
One would say it's a vacuum.
But yes, that part was I was teetering on this movie, being like, okay, let teach me a lesson at the end of it, and then that happened, and I was like, I'm done. Like I was really going to the point where I was hoping like, okay, I get it. He learns a lesson at the end, and then that happened, and
Right.
I kicked a plant, you know, threw a
Kicked a
pillow.
plant.
I threw a pillow, and I was like, no, this is dumb. I started
Um.
going online and trying to find people who were going to bash this movie, and boy, did I!
Oh, really? So this movie's critically panned.
I think everyone has the same consensus of the movie, just like we do, that it was a movie.
Sure.
This is a movie. Everyone, they made it. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. There's a whole part of that movie, and it's a forgettable movie. It's one that's not going to be standing out for Adam Sandler. I get what he's trying to do, but this movie I think is as memorable, or if not less than like Spanglish.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is that there's that we talked about this kind of group that I'm lumping Spanglish in a few episodes ago, where it was like in that early 2000s. we had this really weird, quirky kind of movies that everybody kind of liked, like Eternal Sunshine, Spanglish, Life Aquatic. I brought that up before, right?
Spanglish is not quirky. That was a dumb romantic comedy movie about a chef who falls in love with his
People loved it.
Spanish maid or something like that.
It's the same category, and what I'm
And
getting
Tay
at is
Leone plays this awkward as hell wife who tries to
it's
ride him. That's sex. Adam Sandler should never have a sex scene on camera, by the way. I know I'm talking about Spanglish, but that was the only part of the movie I can remember.
I'm sorry. You're right, but then I'm also giggling because I want to tell you what we talked about off air, where I'm giggling like this in real life. The spider's like, "Hey man, you're kind of depressing, and like you're kind of like like cramping my vibes, bud. So I'm out. See you later." Which is his psyche, screwing with him, right? And the spider leaves, and the spider comes back, and he's just like, "Oh, Peter, I need you. Come back, Peter." And Peter comes out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm back." I haven't been totally honest with you there, Adam Sandler. My arachnid species has been eradicated because we have been infected by a virus, and I have the virus, and I just wanted to learn about the humans more. Why the camera decides to pan closer to his little arachnid arms, and we see stuff moving inside of his tentacles, like we saw Adam Sandler's space, right?
Yeah.
And you know where I'm going.
Space AIDS.
And, yes, because I start cracking up. I'm watching this movie in my garage bar. I'm watching this movie, and Adam Sandler opens himself up literally to the spider to embrace the hug, and the spider hugs him, and the camera pans away. And all you see is Adam Sandler with all of these spider legs wrapped around him. And the last shot, when the camera's panning, is watch it again. One of the spider arms kind of does like the soothing.
Yeah.
And I'm losing.
There.
I'm just like, okay, all right, yeah, all right. The spider's hugging him. Okay, I'm done. Like, put a fork in me.
Let's talk about Carey Mulligan in this movie.
Yeah, I got nothing to say about her, but yeah, let's talk about her. See if you can get something out of me.
So the intro of it is that we're led to believe that Jakob is on this daring mission, solo journey, long stretch, going into space and doing it for mankind.
That's what we're told. Yes.
He's married. He has a baby on the way that we find out later. And our introduction to his wife, Lenka, is that she wants to break up with him while he's out in space, and it doesn't look good. One would think that
she's being selfish.
Yeah, it's just like, well, geez, like what the heck are you doing right now? Kind of a bad move, bad form, Lenka.
Yeah, like all those women who break up with their men when they go to war.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think that, well, again, later on in the movie, though, as we get more reveal, we find out that she's just over. She has this huge kind of bearing, not necessarily. I don't even know if it's guilt. It almost seems like it's some sort of like a I don't know, it's like a Stockholm syndrome almost, right? Where he's guilting her into staying, and she's just kind of staying around for whatever the hell reason. But through the psychosis, through his therapy, through Peter, he realizes that this entire relationship, he's the selfish one, right?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I get it. Big reveal. Woo, woo, woo. Through those little actions too, like when Peter, the spider, Janusz, goes away, and Jakob can't help but say, "I need you. Don't go away. I need you here." It's like you're still continuing to be selfish. You're still being this basically this dick, and I can understand why Lenka had left you. And then we get to see more flashbacks about how she has tried to love this person. She has tried to want this relationship, but that he is just been completely checked out. He is just in it for himself. When there was a part when I think she had a miscarriage of their first kid
Mhm.
potentially, or it was the after that, I think. And they were on the phone, and he said, "Oh, I have to go. It's an emergency." And his emergency was that he was frying his eggs.
Mhm.
Yeah, just really showing how much of just basically just a toxic person that Jakob actually is, that Adam Sandler is. So I don't know, when people were saying that, oh, he did such a good job. He was like, what at playing distant? You're just a boring person. That's all it is. You just get to say, oh, I gotta go.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, I
give
mean,
him an Oscar. It's
well, that's the whole point of the spider, right? Because the spider's not really there, and that's the psychosis, and he, within his own mind, is realizing that he's actually the jerk. And I mean, come on, Jesus! For some reason, I'm getting really annoyed that movies that try to make me learn a lesson. You know what I mean?
oh well, yeah. This movie tried very hard to be like just like you said, a lesson that could have been taught in an hour.
You want to teach me a lesson? Put on Fight Club. I'll talk about con and masturbation all you want. I'll talk about how commerce is evil, right? I mean, but you give me this movie, and it's like you're not making me think. You're not making me feel about my own relationship. You're not making me think about my life. You're trying to, kind of like how the director on Poor Things was trying to make us feel things, right? This again, this is another gun for hire director that has probably made movies before in the past. You're going to look him up, and I'm going to tell you that it sucks every single which way, like we tend to do. That's another thing in our show that we love is you tell me, oh, he's done this, and I always tell you it sucks.
I'll look him up, but I was actually going to say that if you wanted to watch a movie about some guy trying to better himself, I would have said there have been many other movies that do a much better job than this one. Hell, Scrooged is a much better movie that's way better and funnier than this one. Teaches the same thing about a guy learning a lesson about him being not a selfish prick the entire time.
Why? Well, why is it? Is it just me? Like, am I screwed up, or is it? I was thinking of Lars and the Real Girl when I was watching this movie.
Because of just the horribly bland acting that can be done. Let's see. This director, excuse me,
Has done
has
nothing.
done
Nothing.
he's done a lot,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of little stuff, a lot of
Yeah,
TV,
nothing. See, I'm telling you,
music
every time.
videos. You say
Give me
nothing, but listen, he did
nothing.
5 episodes of Chernobyl on HBO, and I thought that was a fantastic miniseries. Don't you clap
Great,
your
great.
hands for that?
Those directors are guns for hire, and you know it. They don't
Yes,
have to do anything.
of course.
Stop it.
He did a few episodes of Breaking Bad, a few episodes of Walking Dead. Oh, he
See,
did the Lana Del Rey Blue Velvet music video. I know how much you love her. He did
really,
Bates.
seriously, like the Black Velvet.
No. Blue Velvet by Lana Del Rey.
Oh, okay, I don't know that one.
I don't know it either. I'm just joking. Vikings, Bates Motel. Yeah, you're right. This guy is basically a director for hire.
Yeah, the guy's a gun for hire.
He's
Screw him.
just all music videos and then the occasional TV episode. So
Base
this
Motel.
is this his
Talk about.
first feature length?
If it is, then it's going to be his last. Have you ever watched Bates Motel?
Yes.
It's terrible.
I didn't get through the first season.
You didn't get through the first episode. Nobody did.
My sister loved that whole
It's
thing. It took a weird turn, but it again, you know how it ends. It's like
well, they
starting
were,
Titanic. It's like I know how this movie's gonna end. Let me
but
guess,
Titanic had
the
stuff.
Titanic's gonna sink, right? Like
Yeah, it's going to sink, but you're going to have to. Yeah, but if you're going to watch a movie like Titanic, at least you're going to have something to make you care about it. I remember when Bates Motel came out, and by the fourth season, they're like, "Hey, Rihanna's the girl in the shower. We just hired Rihanna." And it's like, wait a minute, though. This takes place modern time, and that happened in the '60s. Anyway,
yeah, it
so
was kind of a weird thing.
yeah,
You're right
screw
though.
this.
I felt nothing
This
for
guy
these
sucks.
characters. It was I found myself really not caring about it. I feel like they really tried to make me care about Lenka. Like
Oh yeah.
almost want me to sympathize with her a bit more. And out of anyone, sure, I did and I could, but I so little because every other character in this movie really had nothing. They even had the guy who played Peter, excuse me, who the actual Peter, not the Spider Peter, uh, who was the Mission Control
Yeah.
correspondent. That was what's that? Kunal, the guy who plays in Big Bang Theory.
Okay, so can I just
Raj
make? Okay, so can I make a
Koothrappali.
comment
Of course you can.
that I don't know how you're going to react to this comment? Um, I'm getting kind of tired of it. So like we reviewed it not just with Poor Things before, but like with other movies we reviewed. It seems like just this season of Movie Guys podcast. It seems like we're getting a lot of movies recently where we're getting a lot of big name actors that are respectable actors, right? And they're just making dog crap. Like they're just making crap, and it's because I really, really feel that Hollywood is in this phase of we're trying to be 90s and make you think like Usual Suspects kind of you know what I mean, like that 90s not erotic, ironic, sorry, but it's just falling flat.
I think the big issue is because this isn't necessarily Hollywood. This is Netflix.
It's the
I
same thing.
it's not, and the award ceremonies could tell you that. I think that your issue is it's being spread too thin. You have you have all these different studios that are really trying to just take anything, and they have a lot of money, and so they're making all these different projects. Amazon's making their own thing. Disney's making their own thing. HBO Max is making its own thing. Paramount's making its own thing. Netflix, Hulu, whatever say all that, they're making their own things. Every studio, and then there's Hollywood, all those different studios, MGM, right? Is they're making their own things. Sony is doing just killing itself right now. I don't
It
know
always does.
what after Columbia TriStar went away and became Sony Pictures. Sony was just like, yeah, you know what? Screw it all. We don't even care anymore. Let's make Hotel
Right.
Transylvania 4. Who cares?
Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, and I hate it. So yeah, there's a bit of the nostalgia grab, but at the same part, I think there are many scripts when we were growing up that like this one, Spaceman, that
Spaceman?
would have been purchased by a studio and been stuck on the shelf for decades, but put
Hmm.
in a can, never to be done. But because you have this resource, this never-ending kind of well that can be tapped by all these different production companies, I think that they're just soaking them all up and be like, okay, who can we have a budget of 10 million for the actors. We'll get one guy for a million. We'll get Adam Sandler for 5 million. We'll get Kerry Mulligan for the other for another million, and then we'll put Paul Dano on there. Yeah, and they really are just kind of
Hitting the beats.
yeah, just
Just
painting by
hitting the beats.
numbers and just kind of churning out something that doesn't need to be that really would have been hung up for a bit. So this is where I think we get something like Poor Things stands out because it's so out of the norm now that maybe
Hmm.
people are just like, oh, good, it's something refreshing. It's not a Marvel movie anymore. It's not what is considered to be kind of the standard in today's Hollywood. And so that's what praised is. And it doesn't deserve it. It's just because it's different doesn't mean like it's good. And this is not a unique story. This is just a community theater production of a story we've already told or that's already been told.
So with that, I'm going to go with the popcorn rating.
Please.
So I'm going to start my parkour rating off with my personal experience, and you know the story 1,000 times, but the audience may not know. So I'm going to bring the audience to where my mind was watching this movie. And I was in Chicago visiting my wife's sister. And my wife's sister knows that I love movies, and she knows that I do a show with you. So she said to me, hey, we're going to go literally to an underground stage production of a guy who looks like Patrick Swayze standing in front of a movie screen acting out all of Patrick Swayze's famous scenes.
Sign me up.
Um,
And then he gets colon cancer at the end.
right. She actually does. I fell asleep. I was told I was being rude. You know the story 1,000 times. Because it's like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I here? I don't care. Oh, you're trying, but you're failing. Like, pretty much how people think of the show. And, I mean, this movie's not a bag of kernels. I'm not going to go that route. I am excited to see where our future is going to be for Movie Guys Podcast. But we've done some dreck recently, and this movie's a no bag, Eric. I hope you give it nothing but a no bag. Like, this is not a small. Like, this is a terrible, terrible movie. This is a very boring movie. Usually when you and I do a review, we talk a lot about scenes and character development and what happens. Even with Midsommar, I hated that movie, but we talked about it.
Yeah, sure. There was a lot to talk about.
We didn't talk about this because it was like, yeah, okay, he meets a spider clearly in his mind, and he gets saved by the South Koreans. You know, like, it's just like...
It's a therapy session. It's an hour and 40-minute therapy session.
Right.
Is what it is. And
I
would think you could just go on YouTube and Google Tony Soprano therapy sessions and just watch a mega clip of all of his therapy sessions and get the same amount of entertainment, if not more entertainment, most certainly, and more awards from that than you could through this.
Yeah, no bag for me. It's a bad movie. Don't watch it. It's terrible. Eric, what's your popcorn rating for Spaceman?
I will give it a small.
Oh, whatever.
The small says a film that's not really good involving many issues. I agree. We do not think you should check it out, but go ahead if you must. There's going to be some people who, for some reason, love Adam Sandler enough to watch this movie. I get that, and they are all about this new direction that he's taking, the serious role of it. But I have yet to think that he is playing a role that is out of his comfort zone. Uncut Gems was a loudmouth New Yorker where that's in his wheelhouse. He can do that. This is a soft-spoken man who has two emotions the entire movie here, surprised and confused. That's in the entire movie he's just checked out. He's lethargic. I don't feel anything for this character. I feel again that Carey Mulligan did a lot of it, and I wasn't interested in her story at all. That was unfortunate because most of the reveals in the plot development came from her.
Yeah,
it doesn't come from any part of Peter and Janusz talking about their I guess development or whatever his therapy is in finding out from himself. It all comes from her. She's the storyteller in this movie. I get what they were trying to do here. I really do. I think that some people will get something from it. I hope that they do because in this hour, was it 48? attempt at telling a 15-minute story, I think some people will get something out of it. It just wasn't for me. The visuals I think were beautiful for the space parts of it. I'm a big space guy. I wish we would have gotten a lot more of that. There was those parts where they showed the particles going through the spaceship and talks of the beginning. I understand what Giannis was trying to say in that this is the start where you can testify, you can come clean, and then this will be the beginning of your new life after you realize how bad you screwed up at home. I really wish they would have touched a bit more on the purple stuff though. When he says like, "Oh, well, we'll experience the beginning together," it's like, "Oh, good, they're gonna go into this purple cloud and some stuff's gonna happen,"
Nope.
or Jakob's gonna go in there and he's not gonna come back. He's gonna die, and there'll be some sort of connection that he and Lenka will have telepathically because throughout the stars they were destined to be together. Yada yada. Nope, none of that. It ends with him calling her on the phone in a South Korean spaceship, saying,
Yeah.
"Baby, I miss you. Wasn't that kiss so good?" And roll credits. That was it. This movie has a lot of problems. I get that. The runtime was work. This movie had needed a lot more explanation. It really did. But again, it wasn't overly complicated. It was very easy to follow. I feel like if I was 14 and trying to be very deep in my thinking, like, oh man, you just didn't get like this movie would probably be it. Like, oh man, that was a deep philosophical movie. It had a lot to say. It's like, no, it didn't. 14-year-old Eric, you're just dumb and haven't experienced the world yet. But that's who this movie's for.
If I want deep philosophical thinking, I'll just watch Palm Springs.
I don't get me started on that movie.
Yeah, do you like that joke though?
I do. That's what this movie's for, Jordan.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, this movie's bad. Look, I don't agree with your popcorn rating, which is fine. Look, I know what I put on the website. I know I spell it out, but this movie, you can give it a small all you want, and that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and fight you on it.
I'm not going to watch it again. I wouldn't recommend
this movie sucks
to anyone else, but I know that there are some people who, for whatever reason,
would give this a large and think it's wonderful and think that it doesn't matter if the spider's not real. Look, I don't care if the spider's not real or not. It's just stupid. That's what I'm getting at. Like it's just stupid.
Yeah, again, when you see the spider the first time, you kind of fold your arms and go, okay, all right.
And they're selling this to us as something that it's not, which is why this was on the schedule to fill in for this week. Like it was selling me something that it was not. So false advertisement on you, Netflix. False advertisement.
And again, buddy, because of this movie, I'm putting Bottoms on the list. You're gonna like that movie.
One of these days you'll get me to watch it. I know you will. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Check us out at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com or wherever you get your podcast from. We are on that platform. Thank you so much for downloading us. We'll be back next Thursday for another awesome episode. Eric, thanks so much for joining me. Have a good night. Taking me months, Don't you hate that? Got to get it fixed. So I got nervous for a minute, and I'll tell you why I got nervous. So I'm a Coors Light guy. You know this.
Yes, I know. I know that. Tap the Rockies, baby.
When Jordan comes to town to visit you, there's always Coors Light, right? Always.
He asked, "Where's the Coors?"
Where's the Coors? I was down in Nashville visiting family. I said, "Coors Light." Well, something happened to me that made me nervous 2 weeks ago. I was doing a show with you, and I was drinking Coors Light. And after the show, I just felt heavy, man. Just bloated, poke my belly, air will come out, just messed up.
Sure.
Just bloated, right? Son of a Vondruk, I thought, oh no, my body hates Coors Light.
It happens.
So for the past couple of weeks, I've been drinking nothing but Miller Lite.
Whoa.
And everything's been fine. And then last night, when I was at Kroger, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a case of Coors Light, and we'll see what happens again. I drank Coors Light last night, fine. Coors Light today, fine.
No problem.
No problem.
See, easy peasy, bud.
Easy peasy, lemon.
Well, I'm glad that your life crisis has been resolved there. That you were able to masterfully, Jordan, do nothing and have it be able to fix that self out. You know, the old the test old resolution to everything. It's like, I'll wait till tomorrow. I'll sleep on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to worry about this deal now. It could be my gut. It could be something else in my body really telling me as I get older, hey, maybe you should do that. What the hell does my body know? Screw that body. Get out of here, buddy. We're going to take a nap and we're going to figure it out.
I know my body better than my body knows itself.
Yeah, because you know what? That mind playing tricks. And this body ain't going to play a trick on old me. Okay?
No.
My mind knows better because...
Have a Coors Light mug.
Drinking Coors Light.